Hello, welcome back to Red Hawk Media. Today we're going to take a look at making ringtones in GarageBand. A new feature that was added on, a few years back now, a few versions of GarageBand ago, but kind of a fun one to tinker around with. So far, we've been moving into the empty project area, where we've been tinkering around with the loops, learning a lot of the different features that are in there. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the ringtone area. This will set it up with a lot of the presets that you need to create a proper ringtone. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this, and let's get started. Now that we're in our ringtone project area, we can see some things that we can work with here. For instance, the very first thing that you'll notice that looks a little bit different is this big yellow line that's going across the top. Great place to start. This is your repeat section. We haven't used this at all because we frankly aren't musicians and haven't had a need yet. But with the ringtone, we want to tell it to repeat over and over. To make things a little bit easier though, and a little bit more measurable, we're going to change the measures to time. And now you can see that this is set up to repeat every 40 seconds or so. We can shrink that down so we can see everything. Yeah, it looks like 38 seconds is where it's set up to repeat. Now, you can make a ringtone a little bit shorter than that, but the idea of the ringtone is that it should seamlessly repeat once, twice, 3 rings, and then usually on a phone, that's about it before it goes to the voicemail. Okay, that's the idea. Now, it automatically creates one audio track for you, which you can do pretty much anything with. You can bring in any of your loops here. So you can drag those in as usual. Okay. Otherwise, what you can also do is you can bring in MP3s. People love to bring in the most popular music that is available to them and keep updating their ringtones. And a lot of people spend a lot of money actually doing that through iTunes. So save yourself some money and go ahead and use your own collection. To begin with, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to a project that I've already started, taken from a Lindsey Sterling song called Crystallize. Okay, now at this point, here's the project that I've been working with. I just dragged in an MP3 that I had. You can see that it's Lindsey Sterling, Crystallize here by the name on the track. And then what I did is I cut it down to a particular segment that I liked and that I wanted to hear repeat. So I'll turn this down just a bit and then play this, and you can see... All right, you get the idea. Now, the tricky part is, of course, I had to cut this, and then I had to duplicate it here so that it goes from one clip seamlessly into the next repeating. And there's a little bit of a hiccup in there, but it's pretty smooth for the most part. Volume stays consistent. Don't do fade-ins and fade-outs, otherwise you won't hear your ringtone to begin with. So the only other thing that I did to make this work here, now that I want to finalize this, is I took my repeat line up here, and I can drag that just like our endpoint. So I can grab that, and wherever that is, that's where it will export up to. So right now it's set up so that it is timed out exactly with the end of the song here. So it'll export. That means that this will just keep looping over and over as a ringtone. So let's skip to the important part here. How do we export this? Of course, GarageBand is working completely on the idea that you share everything now. Everything Apple is focused on sharing with the advent of social media. So I go up to my Share menu, and I'm sorry this is cut off, but Share menu, and then we go to Ringtone to iTunes. So I can go ahead and export that. And it's going to export out, and now I made a classic mistake, and I'm glad this actually happened because it happens quite a bit when you export from GarageBand. I exported just a part of the song because I only had that part highlighted. So let's go ahead and try this again. We're going to close out of iTunes. We're going to make sure that nothing is selected in my composition here. And this time, go back up to Share, go Export Ringtone to iTunes, and it mixes it down automatically. And boom, we've got that. Now, once it's in iTunes, it automatically drops it into either your music or your tones. If you're seeing just music right now in your drop down up here, you can go back and forth between the two. And this is how you can organize things that you want to put on your phone or devices or whatever you're using this for. Now, it shows me the file here in my playlist, but the question is, where is the file actually saved? It gets more and more challenging to find the music with iTunes, so easy way to go about that is I just go ahead and right-click on the file that I want to find, and then I go Show in Finder. Brings up this, and if I did everything correctly, which it looks like I did, I should have an M4R as my extension on the end of this. That is the ringtone format that is used exclusively by Apple. So I've just created my first ringtone here. We've got that all set up. Now you can do a lot of different crazy things with your own ringtone. I invite you to try some different stuff, and bring in some interesting loops, personalize it, stop spending money on your ringtones online, and just use GarageBand here. It's free on any Apple device anyway. So, that being said, thanks for joining us again on Red Hawk Media.